I'm going to explain to you why you should do yoga. And I'm going to start with this with my story. So, for my whole life, I've been inflexible. I haven't been able to touch my toes. And although this hindered me in many areas, it never tipped me over the scales. It never made me do anything about it. So, for a long time, I said, oh, I'll get more flexible when I stop growing. So, I stopped growing and I was still inflexible. So, I remained the same until recently, where I had a bit major event where I almost tore my Achilles. My Achilles tendon in my left foot. I almost tore it. I was sprinting in a match and, like I'd been shot, fell to the floor. Now, this could have been multiple other reasons, but I believe it was because of my inflexibility. And this is what I'm going off. So it was a motivating factor to make a change. Almost make a change. So it filled up the tank, but it was kind of, it should have motivated me for me to make a change, but it almost didn't. It made me do less because it was a big event and it kind of saddened me. It impacted my mental health a bit, one could say, because sport plays a major role in my life, like in my for you or exercise. So the tipping point came when I couldn't do a movement. I explained this in my last video. I couldn't do an L sit because my hamstrings were too tight. And this didn't fill the tank, but it definitely made it overflow. Now, here I had two options. Build up the walls further, make excuses for myself, don't allow myself to get better because it would be uncomfortable to make a change. It will be uncomfortable. I am horribly inflexible. It will be awful to make a change. That's path one, option one. Option two is I have to bear this discomfort for my future. And that was the harder choice. So I had to choose that path. I had to go down this path. So instead of building up the walls for my tank so it wouldn't overflow again, I smashed it down. And I did yoga. That night I did yoga, 8 p.m. And it was awful. I was horrible at it. I was inflexible. I couldn't do the most basic movements. It was a 22-minute beginner's gentle yoga. Beginner, gentle. And it was strenuous. I was grunting. I was in a sweat. My muscles were sore. I didn't think my muscles could get sore. I'm a big, fit, burly lad. Big, manly man. How could I get sore from something as simple as yoga? And it was my inflexibility. So, how's it going now? It's been about 5 days, 7 sessions later on my journey to flexibility. Am I more flexible? Yes. Am I flexible? No. Is that okay? Yes. And it's better because even the marginal gains that I've been making are so astounding in my daily life. During yoga, they're astounding. They're impressive. In the beginning, I couldn't do downward dog and it would ache my shoulders. Now, I'm able to lean more back on my feet. I can do all the movements better. I can do these things better. I'm more fluid. I'm more flexible. I notice how movements should be done and which muscles are stretching. Even groups that shouldn't be stretched in an exercise. I'm now, like in the beginning, I felt them. Like there's one exercise to stretch your front, and I felt it in my lower back because it was that tight. But by now, although it's still there, it's much decreased. So, okay, who could have guessed yoga makes you better at yoga? But how has yoga helped my life? Why should you do yoga? Or how have I? Why should I do yoga? Yoga's flexibility has made me better in life. How it's impacted my athletic performance, I don't know yet. I'm still recovering from that Achilles thing I mentioned. But my daily life is better. I suffered from back pain. As a teenager, I'm suffering from back pain. I'm a 65-year-old guy, teenager. I don't suffer as much. I'm not saying I'll be free from back pain forever, but it went from daily occurrence to infrequent. That's enough. If anyone's out, that's worthy of going for it. It's it's helped me with areas that would have been painful, and it's helped me in areas that are strange. You notice, you never notice being inflexible, but you notice when you're flexible. It'll benefit your life amazingly. And if you do sports, it's going to benefit that even more. It's benefited me. I don't know about sports, but it's benefited my daily life, and I can't wait to see how it's going to benefit my sporting. Why? How do you implement it? I implemented it with that little burst of motivation. I went and I made sure I was consistent at the same time. Motivation will mean you can wake up one morning, do it at 5:59 a.m., and then you'll also do it at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. and then the next day you'll do it at 2 p.m. and 6 a.m. and 8:59, and you'll spread it out and do whenever. But without motivation, you kind of go, I don't care. But when you build up, use motivation to build up a habit. So every night I do it at 8 p.m. and every rest day I do it in the morning. And that's what motivation has gotten me. And that's what my habit will then be able to be formed upon. So that's how I built the habit of doing my yoga. But yoga, now stretching is good, very good for being inflexible. But yoga has helped me in another way. And it's helped me with being overwhelmed, it's helped me with my mental health, it's helped me with stress, anxiety, all these things, all these negative things that we don't want to have. Now, for some people, you can use it to motivate you, but for me, it overwhelmed me and it actually made me want to not do anything. I wouldn't want to, I'll explain it. I was writing a workout program, or trying to write a workout program to make mine a little bit better, because it was just higgledy-piggledy, throw it all together, just hit the gym and you'll be better first. So I wanted to actually make it a proper gym routine. And I went online, and I was searching up routines for athletes, for rugby players, for getting strong, for getting big. And I was looking at these and I was overwhelmed and I wrote nothing down. So I do a bit of yoga and I thought, I'm incurable. This is how I am. I do a bit of yoga, which made me want to do a bit of journaling. And with a combination of those two, but I wouldn't have done journaling without the yoga. So yoga gave me the stillness. It made me focus on my body and it didn't give me anything to focus on elsewhere. That helped my mental health. It helped me to stop stressing. It got me to stop worrying about these things. It made me think less about the future and uncontrollables. Thinking about the future with your controllables is fine, but the uncontrollable variables, I stopped thinking about them. Instead, I thought about right now what I could do to make those uncontrollables actually controllable. That's something like, I'll never be able to come up with ideas again, which is an irrational thought, but it's one I could have quite often, except this yoga sat down, helped me relax, become more tranquil. And the journaling helped me get there. So yoga is going to help you with your sports performance, it's going to help you with your flexibility, it's going to help your daily life. But almost the more important, which probably unfortunately I put it last, but the more important side might be the mental aspect. How it makes you feel. How it helps your brain function, how it gives you the calm that you need. And it might also teach you some lessons. Some lessons I've learned from it may be how hard it was in the beginning and how much I hated it. And now how much I love it because I'm reasonably good at it. I'm not good at it. I'm better at it. If you think about this in relation to other things, what's something you don't enjoy doing? You don't enjoy working out. What if you put 10 kilos on your bench press? What if you put 15 on your squat? What if you put 20 on your deadlift? You'd enjoy it a bit more, wouldn't you? What if you were the biggest lifter in the gym? You would enjoy it the most. So you can motivate yourself to become the best lifter. And then when you've gotten there, it'll be easy to maintain because it's funner. It's more enjoyable to do. That's something I learned from yoga. That's something you can learn from 15 minutes of calm or 20 minutes of journaling or focusing your thoughts or breathing or exercising. But it's something that you're going to get the most from yoga. So, how I went from stressing and worrying and being inflexible to having less pain being more flexible, having my thoughts more collected, and thinking better. All I had to do to get from there to there was put a bit of yoga in every day. My recommendation: start tonight. Do one yoga. Find a calm, gentle 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 minute, half hour. Do a yoga session that you can do comfortably. And do it for a few days. Now, in 2 weeks' time, if you come back to me and say, this is the worst advice I've ever gotten, it's benefited me no way, I'm sorry for leading you astray. I've lost 20 minutes of your time. I know, it's a big task. I've missed out on about 20 minutes or of unforgettable, of shorts you've forgotten already. Those 20 minutes you spend watching short form content, I'm sorry I've taken that away from you. Even that alone might be beneficial to you. So in 2 weeks' time this doesn't benefit you, I sincerely apologise. But I doubt anyone will be able to come back and say that. So get flexible, guys. Do some yoga. Do it tonight, do it tomorrow morning. Well, do it today. Do that. It's going to benefit you. I want to help you. Do that. Strive for better. Always unlock your best.